Hey everybody, Jay Jennings here. We'll be starting the webinar on adding virtual open houses in just a couple of minutes. So we've got a lot of people signed up for this webinar. So we'll give them a couple minutes and we'll get started here very shortly. All right, thanks. Okay, just about another minute here, and we're going to get started up for adding virtual open houses to Paragon listings. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us on a rainy afternoon. I'm Jay Jennings with your MLS support team. Thanks for joining today's webinar, and we're covering a topic that's very much related to what we're all dealing with right now with the coronavirus, and how Paragon has stepped up to the plate and provided a new for MLS members to add virtual open houses to their listings. So they worked at fever pitch to get that done. We are very appreciative of getting that implemented into production in such a quick turnaround time. So again, what we're trying to do and what Paragon's trying to do and the different vendors we're all working with is trying to provide tools and resources for our members to keep buyers and sellers engaged during this very unique time. So we feel like this virtual open house is a great to do that while we're still respecting the social distancing guidelines that are in effect, and we're trying to keep everybody safe. So let's kind of get on the rolling here with the program. Let's cover up a little bit real quick. Let me get back onto the PowerPoint. So what are we going to cover today? Well, we're going to get some of the basics out of the way. What are some of the MLS rules and regs pertaining to open houses? How do we syndicate open houses to our third-party vendors like Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, HomeSnap? We'll go into that. We'll look at some of the permitted vendors that support live video open houses that Paragon has a pre-approved list for, and it's a pretty extensive list, so I think you'll be pleasantly surprised to see all the vendors that are on board. So you get to choose whatever medium you want to use to create that virtual open house, whether it's Facebook Live, Zoom, we're on today, Google Hangouts, Vimeo, or whatever, an array, GoToMeeting, for instance. So we'll cover those. So we'll talk about how to create and then add that virtual open house to your listing. We'll have some slides, and then I'm going to go online. We'll do a hands-on presentation for you to see how that process works and what it looks like to add that virtual open house. How you can search for virtual open houses, MLS, and then finally some helpful hints on creating effective virtual open houses. We have a little video that Paragon has put out. But just to give you, like we were just saying, that this new feature gives agents, consumers, and homeowners the ability to practice social distancing while still engaging buyers and sellers. until April 30th, or until the governor of Alabama gives us the okay to go back to business as normal. The only way to add open houses in Paragon is through virtual open houses. You will not be able to schedule in-person open houses until we get that okay. The date was April 30th, but until we get the all good from Governor Ivey, it's still going to be virtual open houses only that can be added in the MLS, and that's the only way it'll be syndicated out as well, okay? In-person open houses cannot be scheduled at this time, all right, until we get that okay. So let's give a little trailer video, a little teaser video of what it looks like from Paragon's production team, and then we're going to go right into the program. Well, they made it sound really easy in that video, didn't it? Just a few easy steps, right? So we should all be able to start doing virtual open houses immediately, right? So actually, let's dig a little bit deeper, and we'll get some good information to you guys about how to get this rolling. So what are the rules and regs on virtual open houses? Well, the virtual should be non-branded. Just have virtual tours. Those should be non-branded. And then the second bullet point, same thing. That is the landing page for a video. If you have one, a landing page, or if it can use something like that, that page should also be non-branded as well, okay? So the virtual open house link must direct the user only to the virtual tour page of that listed property. So when you get to see later, like when you're entering that link to the virtual open house, we want to make sure that's what the end user's getting. It's not a link to your website or some other third-party vendor or whatever it may be for real estate sales and services. It's going to be a link to the virtual open house, okay? And what I'll mention too, because we have a lot of people on board today, if you want to type in your questions, I'll follow up at the end. Or if you want to email me, I'll have all my contact information as we go. But we've got a couple, let's see, raising their hands, see if we can get a couple answers here. Can't see it on the PowerPoint. Couldn't see the video. Okay, sorry, we couldn't get that video. All right, so that was a different one. I'm going to give you the link. Sorry about that. You didn't get to see the video, but what I'll do is I'll include the link to, actually the video is just a little bit of a teaser, so it really won't help you to perform the task of adding a virtual open house. So we'll cover that during this webinar. Okay, syndication virtual open houses. They cannot be added to coming soon listings, okay? And what I want to point out, there's a little in parentheses at the bottom of that, is that coming up on May 1st, clear cooperation will begin. And this is just a reminder, nothing to do with virtual open houses, but just remember, coming soon listings, you can only have one main photo for coming soon listings in the MLS, okay? So just, again, that starts May 1st. So just a little side note on that. Virtual open houses are available to be syndicated to all of our third-party vendors and RETS feed. So what that means is, okay, now that we did a metadata refresh on our end, so we have those new fields that are available in in Paragon, it will now go out to Zillow, Truly, all those sites, as well as if you have your own website, your vendor, make sure that they have the a mapping field turned on for virtual open houses, and that data will be sent and automatically populated to the next data feed for you. So if you have any questions about that, you can email Garrett on that, G-A-R-E-T at baldwinrealtors.com. And again, I'll have the contact information for all of this at the end of this webinar. Great. So remember, I was saying there was a lot of different vendors that Paragon and Black Knight's pre-approved to say, to ensure that our clients are being able to provide live stream open houses. These are the permitted sites and the URLs that'll be permitted so that you can create that live open house URL. So you'll see there's a bunch of them from the very bottom, Zoom, which we're using today, YouTube Live, Microsoft Teams, Skype, Instagram, Google Hangouts, GoToMeeting, all right? Facebook Live is going to be a very popular one we've seen so far. So this should not be a hindrance to you being able to create a virtual open house URL link because a lot of these tools are free, okay? So just wanted to point that out to you. Again, create your unbranded virtual open house and copy the URL when you are done. So this is, so we're talking about now, I can't go into all those different vendors about what it looks like to create the actual open house, but you'll find the one that works out best for you. You'll see that you'll record something. Facebook Live is a little bit different than some where when it's live, you have people who are posting and you're communicating with within your Facebook page. And then when you finish recording, there'll be a link. And then that's what you would post into the MLS to access it at a later date or a scheduled virtual open house. So again, whatever these vendors you choose to create that URL link, this is where a screenshot of how you would add it to the MLS. And again, once we're done looking at these screenshots, I'm actually going to go online on Paragon, and we're going to see what it looks like from beginning to end. Okay, so again, we would go into listing maintenance feature. You can see on the left-hand side that there would be the option to add edit open house. All right, the second yellow arrow, excuse me, is where you're going to put that live stream URL that you just created. Plug that in, pick a date, a time, and then save it. Okay, so it's really that simple. And again, we're going to see it hands-on, but that's how you get it scheduled into the MLS. So that's really going to be a cool thing. So you can do this ahead of time. So let's say, you know, today you're going to do one virtual open house on Saturday at noon. Okay, well, you could plug that in. You could do the open house, do the open house, create the link, and plug that in there. So Saturday at noon, people can click on that and they'd be able to see your live stream. Technically it wouldn't be live stream, but if you wanted to put something out there where you're saying, I'm doing this right now, while you're scheduling it, they would be able to see it live, or they could come back and look at it through the course of one day. Paragon doesn't allow open houses to be scheduled more than one day at a time. So you couldn't put, when you're scheduling an open house or a virtual open house, you couldn't put a date saying it's good from Monday at 8 a.m. till Friday at 10 p.m. Okay, it would be for that one business day or one particular calendar day, I should say, not business day, that you can create those links. So searching for virtual open houses. This is just, again, a little snapshot. We are going to, let me see, we got another question here maybe. Video not shared. Yep. Okay, gotcha. All right, I was just reading some notes here, guys, so we're good there. So this is just a screenshot of how you would search. So you just go into the search icon, and in the middle section you would have the search tour and open houses, and we would just pick the date range you were looking for one, and then at the bottom you would see that you'd want to focus on just open house live stream ones. And again, we're going to see this hands-on in just 1 second. Okay, so after you did a search for all your open houses, it pops up like a normal spreadsheet. If you wanted to click on your reports, there are different reports you can pick, like MLS Client View is a great report. If you wanted to email a listing, that it would have that link in there. So that would display as well. But let's go ahead and let's go to actual Paragon, and I'm going to walk through for you how it looks to create that in Paragon hands-on. Okay, 1 second. Okay, guys, so hopefully everybody is seeing the Paragon screen. What I've done is I went into, let's just go ahead and do it from the beginning here. What I did, I typed in up top in the power search, the actual MLS number we're working with. And by the way, guys, if you see the listing coming up, this is just a test MLS that we create when we're working out testing on the background with Paragon. We play with this. So if you see anything and there's rules violations, it's not an actual listing. We just turned this active for this webinar only. So anyway, so let's plug this in. Okay, so there I'm looking at my listing and I want to add a virtual open house. So already what I've already done, I've gone to the property, created that virtual open house to whatever, Facebook Live or Zoom, whatever, and it's recorded, right? So, and I want to add that link to the open house. So what I can do, one, I can just go here, actions, and I can go to maintain listing. We can go to the left here and click on the MLS number. And you'll see on the left-hand side, okay, underneath the main photo, you will see that I can add, edit, open house. Okay, hopefully you can see that. I'm going to click on add, edit, open house. Okay, the field pops up. We are going to be clicking on the green plus sign for add new. And what you're going to see now is from our settings in Paragon, the default will be checked to live stream. Until, again, it changes, you may have the ability, hopefully in the very near future, to click on in-person open house again. But right now, your only option is live stream. Here is where you would type in your URL, www. What if it was Facebook Live .com, whatever that URL was created, that link after you created in whatever program or app you were using, you would type in there. Okay, again, we're going to pick the date. We're going to go this Saturday from 1 p.m. until 1:30 p.m. Okay, if you want to put any comments in there, you can. This is a virtual open house, so just anyone sees that, they know that don't show up to the property. But this is a great, this is just a reminder maybe that says, take a look at this link, and you would hit save. Okay, so let me just do that, and I'll get rid of it later if we need to. So it must be a live stream URL, must be a valid URL to be with HTTP. So that's something good to know. We can't start with www. We're going to have to go with HTTP when entering in that URL. Okay, so let's go and take a look at how you would actually search for a virtual open house. So we have the search icon here. All right, there's the drop down. Under specialty search, we are going to go to tour and open house. Okay, and then we're just going to pick a date range, from 4/23 to 5/3. Right here at the bottom, if I click on the eyeglass, I'm going to click on tour open house live stream. Yes, that's all I'm looking for right now. Okay, so if I click on that, you'll see that there is one virtual open house between those dates. So let's click on search right here. Okay, there it is. There is the listing, that virtual open house that's coming into play. And where is that link? You can see it right here. Oops, sorry, let me do that again. There we go, the highlight in blue. Sorry, guys. Right under, you can see under the MLS number, there's a tour open house live stream, and there's the link. Okay, so you would click on that and you would be ready to go to see that property. Now, I see a couple things I'll have to reach out, but we can't do, but like I see like in the photo, guys, we can't have the branded photo, so we'll make sure that that's taken care of. But anyway, that's how we find virtual open houses through a search feature in Paragon. All right, let me go back to the PowerPoint real quick. Again, and this will all be posted, and I'll show you where that is here in just a second. Okay, so here are some things that I've seen in the last week that's happened through listings in our own MLS, as well as working with the user groups across the United States who are implementing this as we are. And what I've seen is, first, be aware of your surroundings. I've seen a couple done this week where it was very windy outside, and all you could hear when the agent had the phone and walking through the yard and talking about all the features, you couldn't really hear. It was just very windy and gusty, and you couldn't hear anything. There were some barking dogs that how can you plan for, but that's part of life, I guess. And in one of the instances, we saw somebody else showed us, and one of their members created one, really wasn't too well thought out. They were showing a piece of property from, would have been very similar to our Highway 59, and we're filming from the mailbox, and you have 6 lanes of traffic going by 55 miles an hour. Didn't look so good on the live open house. So guys, just kind of be aware of your surroundings. Another thing that I noticed on one of them was created, there was somebody walking around the house with through big piles of dried leaves. So you couldn't even hear the agent. You just heard all those leaves crunching. So anyway, just common sense will probably help out a lot. But again, the second point is controlling your environment, stuff that we would normally do when you're doing a real open house without all this coronavirus stuff happening. You want to go through, make sure there's no messy rooms, make sure the lighting is nice. Again, in some big open rooms without furniture, sometimes we hear people creating on their phone these tours, and there's like this massive echo. So just trying to be cognizant of, again, what some things that how it comes across on video may not look so great. And then again, just as for do a practice run. Go through your own house, give it a shot, see what it looks and feels like, watch that video. Maybe you'll get some pointers and say, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that I should probably turn on a lamp in this room. It's a little dark, or there's a glare coming in. I need to pull some shades down. So anyway, practice with it a couple times, get a good feel for how it looks on your particular phone, if that's what you're using to create it, and probably give you some good insights there. Again, we want to make sure the open house is unbranded with 2 B's. So we'll try and steer away from that. Any kind of sales services, contact information as best as we can on this. Okay, guys. Other tips and tricks, guys, I would say this would be a great opportunity for anyone watching this. Put that out there on Shareology as a discussion about what are your peers doing? What are some helpful tips, tricks, and hints that are working for them? And I think you'll see you might get some really good feedback about how people just like yourself are out there trying to keep buyers and sellers engaged with these open houses, virtual open houses, and get some good hints. Okay, so how do we, if you ever get stuck about creating this virtual open house, there's contact information for myself and Garrett Eichner. Again, if you have any questions about your website, vendor, making sure they have that field for virtual open houses, email Garrett, and he will be more than happy to follow up with you. I got a couple questions here. Let me see if I can look at those real quick. Let's see, my open house did not push out to Zillow. Okay, one of the question was, my open house did not push out to Zillow for last Saturday. Was this not ready, or was it an entry error on our part? Let's see, we actually at that point, we may not have had that turned on at that point. The other answer to this is that Zillow has their virtual open house feeds placed. It's not really easy to find it up front. So what you'll see is when you pull up your listing in Zillow, you're going to see a place where I want to see, I want to schedule, I want to view this home, and it has an option as in-house or video. That is something that goes directly to Zillow. That is not a link to the virtual tour. You're actually going to have to go scroll down through the details of that of the listing in Zillow, and under facts and features in Zillow, that's where they place that field under facts and features of the home. Scroll through there, and then there will be a virtual tour link. That's where you'll find that. So you may just not have seen it, but anyway, if you create another one, that's where you'll find that link. Okay, so the same question. So yeah, it will be pushed out. So question was, is that available to see on Zillow right now? Yes, it will be. If you create another one, it will push out. Okay, so if you guys want, let me show you one other thing real quick. I'm gonna stop this share, and I'm gonna show you one place where you can find all these webinars. We'll be posting it when they're done, so we don't have to email links, but it's we have on our portal. That's where everything is. So I'm gonna go here and to right here, our portal, where you sign in to Paragon. So here's all notifications of upcoming events. And then if you look, our BR webinar library. So if you click on that right here, all the different webinars and material we posted out about clear cooperation, HomeSnap, SBA loans, everything we're creating, the new content, you can access whenever you need to. So you don't have to be here at Thursday at 3 p.m. If it, later on tonight, whatever, you have a few moments at 10 o'clock, you have 3 or 4 minutes, you want to watch something, we have some good videos. And again, some of the other content could be a little bit longer than that. But anyway, good time to polish up maybe when we have a little more downtime to get some training on some of these added features and benefits. So hopefully everybody walked away with a little bit better understanding of how virtual open houses work. And I just want to point this out here too, that you'll see right here at the bottom, BR documents. That's where clear cooperation comes up. This is where you are going to find, if you scroll down, here we go, the coming soon addendum and confidential listings for exempt listings. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out while we are all online together here. Thank you for spending a little bit of your time with me on a Thursday afternoon. We hope some of these new features will help you, again, reach out to your buyers and sellers. We had a great scenario just yesterday where a luxury property went under contract because the buyer's agent, it was a vacant property, but the buyer's agent went to the property and did a virtual showing on her own to her buyers. Based on that showing and how well she did it, they end up writing a contract and going under contract for a really good property. So it's exciting for using it and embracing this technology. Hopefully it's a benefit to all of us, and Paragon is helping you to get you to where you need. So thank you again. If you need me or any questions about MLS or the topics today, give me a call. My direct line is 251-270-2725, or you can always email mls@baldwinrealtors.com. That's an inbox that Garrett and I both have access to, and we'll be more than happy to follow up with you that way. So please be safe out there. Continue to work hard, be positive, and be nice to each other as we're all dealing with these very unique times in coronavirus. And we appreciate you as a Baldwin Association member, and we'll be working with you again in the future real soon. Have a great afternoon, everybody.